TSO Daily. I am your host, Mystic Raven. All right, guys. So today I just want to do a quick video on a couple of the things I've noticed with Homestead since it's launched. I am on my PS4 recording at this moment, but I've been on the PC on and off a couple days, checking out a couple of the things since the launch of Homestead. Now there are a ton of YouTube videos out there that will go into detail about how to progress about your obtaining your homes and your crafting of furniture, or how to obtain furniture and your patterns and so on and so forth. So this is not what this video will be covering. I don't like, once again, I don't like to do what other people are doing, but there is some information that I would like to pass along to the console players, to give them a heads up what's going on with a couple of these changes and whether or not it's going to affect you. Pretty much in a nutshell. Like, for example, my Nightblade, my Magic and Nightblade, they increased the cost of Strife, but it really isn't that bad, guys. So don't hit the oh shit button. It's really not that noticeable. Okay, so if any of the console players were hitting the oh shit with the increased cost of Strife and its morphs, it really isn't that bad. So just a heads up, don't hit the panic button on that. Templars, you are getting a nerf towards your Jesus beam. Don't worry though, guys, I'm actually working on my Templar, so early next week I'll actually be showing you guys how to hopefully counter that, depending on your build, and basically to keep around what you're used to. But the nerf is still applied. It's just the build I'm working on. It's going to maximize the potential of that beam. So just, if you're a Templar, and especially Magic and DPS Templar, be on the lookout for that. So I will be bringing that out soon. Also, another thing I wanted to point out, I'm on excuse me, I am on my Salmon and Nightblade here, and with really good reason. Okay, so I have a Swamp Raider axe here, right? It deals poison damage, and the enchantment was proccing Vipers, right? So if you guys are familiar with my proc dot and drop build, which, it has thousands of views on it. It's one of my more known videos. But so this is no longer taking effect. As the poison damage from the enchantment is taking effect, the proc is not going to be taking effect from the enchantment applied effect. So anytime I would hit and apply poison damage, it had a proc, a little, dot to it, and it was actually procking Vipers. That no longer is the case. Now, will I have to make any adjustments with this build? I'll have to actually check it out and test it to see if it's that dramatic. If it is, I will be doing a small overhaul on this build. So just a heads up. And of course, being my subscribers, you're finding out this first, right, guys? So a lot of players aren't even going to be aware if I make adjustments to this build until I post it. But I'm just giving you guys the heads up first. This build could get a small overhaul. It's not going to get a dramatic overhaul, so I don't want you guys thinking, oh shit, my total proc dot and drop build is fucked. That's not the case. There might be some small adjustments, but no biggie, guys. Once again, the devs were very reasonable when it came to applying, that type of nerf, into the mechanics. So I'm not actually too worried about that. I kind of anticipated that sooner or later something was going to happen with this build, that they were going to, put a small, restriction on it, and rightfully so. So I'm not upset about it. I'm not mad about it or anything like that. So heads up, if you're running this build, it's going to be something too that you might want to know about. Some of the things that also have excuse me, I just woke up. Some of the things that really have me though concerned here, you're going to see a lot of changes with your start your inventory, your HUD here. Um, I don't know if it's really good or bad, but you're actually going to see, instead of supplies, you're going to also see supplies, inventory. There's going to be like two more listings in your inventory area. Also, what you're going to see is the currency, the way it's set up, is going to be slightly adjusted. So there's going to be some changes in that. You may or may not like it. That's a preference thing or whatever. Also, what you're going to see here, this is the big one for me. This one kind of sucks really bad, and I understand maybe why they did it. So they could promote more player browsing in the market. But when you go to the guild vendors and you go to a guild store, the big deal is when you go and you browse the market, right? I'm going to go ahead and hit apparel. You'll see light. It'll say all pieces now. When Homestead launches, this will be gone. You'll have to just hit light armor and what trait. And you'll actually have to manually sift through pages of shit, of gear, of shit gear. Because, like, if I need legs, I have to sift through the chest, the hands, all that shit to find an item that I'm looking for. So that becomes a little pain in the ass. I can understand at least, you're browsing all the wares, right? They're forcing you to browse the wares, I should say. And it sucks because I like being able to select a specific piece I'm looking for. I don't want to have to fucking sift through tons of shit, waste another 5 minutes of my time to look for one piece. Come on, Zoss, really? Come on. So, that is something that has been just totally fucked. But, I get why they did it. Alright, I get it. But, yeah, so that's one thing that you're probably going to hate. Also, the queue. Alright, so let's talk about also the new queue system. So a lot of players were queuing and then going AFK, especially like DPS. They would just go queue or walk away, glance at their screen, oh, I'm in, and go over. Well, now they've implemented a ready check, right? If you read the patch notes, you're already aware of this. They've implemented a ready check. And it actually works out pretty good because as soon as the queue prompts, you will actually get a notification, hey, are you there? Are you ready to be queued into this dungeon? And you're like, okay, yeah, okay, cool. And it works out pretty damn good because if somebody doesn't respond within a few seconds, it actually kicks them out of queue, puts you back in front of the queue, and replaces that person. That actually works out great. It works out really good. I mean, you really, it is a very, convenient. The problem, you have to break a few eggs, people. You have to break a few eggs. Is when you come out of the dungeon, it puts you back in queue automatically. It's bugged. Yeah, it's bugged. And console players, I will guarantee you, I will put anything on this. Well, not literally, but I will say for almost 80% surety that Zoss isn't going to have this fixed by the time it comes to console. So heads up. Does that mean you're not going to be able to do dungeons like we've had in the past? No, it actually does work. It will actually queue you. You will actually get in. All that shit's good. So is it a game breaker? No. It's not a game breaker. It is a pain in the ass when you come out of the dungeon and you're just automatically, oh, you're queued. Wait, no. I need to queue another dungeon. Oh, and then it throws you into a dungeon. It's pretty friggin' annoying. Heads up on that. Just saying. So those are the couple of things that I wanted to talk about. That's going to be happening when Homestead comes to the PS4 and the Xbox. This is actually really good, though. I mean, if you're waiting for the player housing, I will tell you, there's a lot of content. The devs did such an awesome job with the content that they've released for Homestead. It will keep you occupied. It definitely will. If you're looking forward to player housing and customizing your housing and getting into all that, don't worry. ZeniMax did deliver a nice product. It is pretty kick-ass, guys. And once again, I'm not going to cover it in a video. I could, but it's not. And like I've said before, it's not something I'm looking forward to per se. So I'm not going to say, oh, it's so badass. I mean, it's good. It's great. Exhausted. Awesome. Some of the shit that they came out with for it is pretty killer. Dyes, furniture dyes. You can not only build it, you can dye your furniture. A lot of different ways to customize, the layout of your house. The house itself is set up for what it is. You can actually get, and I'm sure you guys seen, a chateau, Ebonheart Chateau like this. It looks exactly like the Ebonheart Bank and stuff. You can get this like small little opening area and stuff of this area, and same for Glenumbra, capital of Glenumbra, and Aldemarion. So it's pretty cool, man. A lot of shit. Crown Store, if you don't want to even have to sift through a ton of questing and mindless boggle trying to get a place, you can go to the Crown Store and they have something for you. And the Crown Store is very impressive when it comes to the Homestead application. Targeting dummy skeleton. Yeah, they got it. Whatever. You can hit a dummy instead of a mob now. Ooh. Like I said, they're making test dummies for dummies. It is what it is. I don't know. But there it is, guys. Pretty much in a nutshell how some of the things that you might want to be paying attention to when Homestead comes to the console. So once again and always, I want to thank everybody for watching, and if you found this somewhat kind of beneficial and like, oh, thanks Mystic for the heads up, give me a like. If not, I'm imagine when this goes live I'll get like 5 dislikes. I got like I think a small guild or something stalking me. Nothing new. But I'll already have my dislikes before you hit like. I promise you. So once again and always, guys, I appreciate it, and you all have a nice day.